Hey guys, Mike the Colour Kiwi here. I thought I'd do a bit of on the. Sorry, that was my dog Sam deciding that he was gonna have a bit of a yawn. Mark the Colour Kiwi here from Kiwi Colour Studio. Just thought I'd do a bit of an on the painting table update just because I haven't done one for a while. Thought I'd show off sort of where I'm at with a few of my figures, show off the finished elephant that I've done, which I think has turned out really well, and overall just excuse to try out the new microphone that I just got. It's a little cheap one that I got. It's a Boya. Apparently, it's been getting some pretty good reviews, but comes off Wish, which is a Chinese site which does really cheap things. Sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're not. This was $10. We'll find out, see if the quality of this is actually any better. If not, it'll go in the bin. It's cheap, who gives a crap, right? Anyway, so on to the models. Hey guys, alright, so here's my Greeks. As you can see, I haven't got a huge amount done on them at the moment. Bit disappointing for me, but last week and the week before has been a bit full on, so I haven't really got too much done. Probably spent too much time painting my elephant, to be honest. Not enough time actually painting the rest of the armies that it's meant to go with. But nonetheless, sometimes you gotta spend a bit of time on something just to relax your brain a bit from the rank and file like these guys. I have a lot of these figures to do. I've got 4 units of these unarmoured ones at, what was it, 24 figures a unit, and then I've got 4 units of 24 figures a unit of the armoured versions of these, which are all Victrix models. Love Victrix stuff. Hope they just keep bringing out more and more stuff. Now these unarmoured ones are going to be the basic citizen troops, and then the armoured ones are going to end up being more the mercenaries. They're hired, better equipment, a bit more variety in them, looking a little bit more, like they have some extra money. These guys here are lucky that they can afford to have some helmets, some spears, and some shields when I get around to doing them. I'm waiting for transfers at the moment, so when they finally turn up, we should have a reasonably nice looking force, hopefully, so I've got to try and get all the men done before then. Now the plan is I've got Friday, Saturday and Sunday off, and I'm not gaming this weekend, so I'm going to take the 3 days, or at least 2 of the 3 days, to just sit down and do a good 10 hours of painting each day, and hopefully should be able to get all the Greek infantry done, or at least to a usable standard. They may not be totally finished, but they should be usable. But onto this unit here, they're all basically, all the units I do are going to be a mixture of the same colours, so there'll be oranges, blues, browns, reds, off-whites, off-yellows. Basically I'm trying to do a lot of pastel-y colours. It seems from what I've read in that, and what we know, is that they tended to have a lot of bright colours if they could get them, but those colours, because the dyes weren't anywhere near as advanced as what we have now, you tended to get a situation where the dye faded pretty quickly and you ended up getting a kind of a lighter pastel colour, so that's what I'm going to try and achieve. You'll see I've got a lot of blue in here, but I intend to have 3 or 4 different types of blue, because these Greeks are meant to be Syracusan, and I've decided that Syracus's colour is blue. That's an arbitrary decision on my part. I have absolutely no idea of what colour Syracuse would have had. For all I know, it could have been bright purple. I don't think anybody really knows, but since they were on an island and they had a bit of a navy, I kind of like the idea of them having a bit of blue, and because I'm probably going to use these models as well in Peloponnesian War as Athenians as well, it probably doesn't hurt to have some blue mixed in there just to work along with the Athenian sort of theme, and some white as well, so I think they'll work. I think pretty much all the Greeks used a combination of the same colours: red, blue, off-whites, yellows and oranges, and that, I think it's what they could get hold of. It was easy for them to produce in certain ways, and I think it should look good overall. The colours do look quite nice off against the bronze as well once the bronze is finished. But yeah, that's the Greeks as they are so far. Hopefully the next on the painting table I can do, I'll actually have a few more finished ones to show you, which will hopefully be a bit more exciting than what we've got here. But anyway, onto the elephant, because that's what I really want to show off today. Now I have put some pictures up already of the elephant up on Facebook and on some of the other sites and that, but I've finally gone finished, and I thought just a nice video of him finished would be good, so I'm just going to pause this here for a second until I can get him out and ready. Alright, with a snap of my fingers, so to speak, here he is. So I've just moved the other Greeks out of the way, and I've got the old elephant here. Now I've gone for quite a dry, arid sort of basing scheme, and I was initially, as you may have seen on my Facebook here, I was going to put some dead guys, and I was going to do some weapons and things like that, but in the end of the day it all just seemed like it was becoming too hard, so I might come back to it at a later stage. Before the moment I just wanted to get it done, so I've gone for quite a insane looking elephant. If you actually look up close, it's got real beady eyes. It looks like it's been well fed up on some wine to get it to go to war. I've got a Numidian Mahout up on top, or at least I'm saying he's a Numidian. As like I've done with my horsemen, I've decided to not go for the super dark Numidians like I used to do when I was younger, because all my reading and studying that now leads me to believe that they weren't that dark. So I've gone for darker than my normal troops, which are the Carthaginians in this case, but not so dark that they look like they're, Nubians, which were very dark. Now for this particular elephant, you'll see all the markings now, its trunk and all its ears. I based this off a picture of a really old elephant, apparently much like us. How we lose our hair and that as we get older. They tend to get lots of sunspots and things like that, freckles and bits and pieces, and sometimes it can go right the way up the trunk. I didn't do the whole trunk, I just sort of did down to about here and then the odd spot on the end of his nose just for good measure. Gave the ears quite a going over. Let's see if the camera will actually focus on that. Sort of, so you can see, so from far away it kind of looks like he's dirty, but I think I got the mixture reasonably close. Man, I really did do those eyes beady, didn't I? I'm not sure if that was a good idea or not. He looks a bit psycho. Now, you can see here I used the Little Big Men Studio shield transfers and the amazing transfer pack that they came up with to go alongside these models. Now, these are great. They really are. There's no way I could have painted this, or I probably could have, but it would have taken me a bloody long time. It took me about 10 minutes to put these all on, once I had all the cleaning up done and had them right. It took no time at all to actually get them stuck on the model and, sitting there looking really good. And the only thing you have to do is you just kind of have to match the colour just down around the bottoms here and off on the side bits, just because it doesn't cover right the way around, but that's hardly a problem. It's very easy to fix it. With a shot from behind there, you can see it's just beautiful transfer sets. Just I'm really happy with them. Now the figures themselves, I did a really straightforward, simple sort of colour scheme on the actual Carthaginians. It's probably going to match in quite well with just the basic Carthaginian troops I'm going to do. So light browns and reds for the uniforms, because these ones are wearing the white linthorax. There's not a lot you can do with them really. I could have done different colours, but I've pretty much decided that red, white, brown and bronze is pretty much going to be the colours that the Carthaginian army is going to be, so that's what I'm going to go with throughout the whole army. But there you go, so there he is in all his glory. Love to know what you guys think overall with the finished one. He has got a buddy which is pretty much done as well. If I put this one off to the side, so here's his buddy here. I've done him as a younger elephant, so he doesn't have any of the spots, which I think looks just as good with or without. It's both very cool. This was the opposite side of the transfer set. Oh, I see I missed, it's a bit shiny in there, but I can fix that later on once I've got the rest of the crew on. As you can see, very different design, but looks really good. Went for a very different design on those shields as well, and went for just really big colours with the symbols. But together, really nice. That's a reasonable amount of points in Hail Caesar for the two of them. Now, how good they'll go, I have no idea. Same frontage though as an actual full-size unit, so 160mm, same as 16 figures, 8 figures across. So 2 elephants can effectively hit one normal size unit, so I guess 2 elephants is on par with a unit which represents, I know, a couple hundred men. So I guess that makes them pretty tough. We'll see how well they do in a few weeks' time when I use them in the first game, if I can get enough Carthaginians put together for that. Or maybe I'll sneak them into the Roman army, even with they've got the wrong crew, but they'll be okay. And what have we got now? Just here. Just so you can see I am working on the final crew for this as well. So they all actually start the same, no matter what the skin colour is. They all actually end up starting off with the same. Oh, got the shakies there, geez. They all end up starting off with the same sort of tone. I use a US Field Drab just as the base colour. I find that it's not too dark, not too light, just seems to be about right. And then I put a couple of different shades on there and then ink it. And I'll go over that if anyone's interested in how I end up doing my skin and that. Just ask and I can put something together and just let you know how I do it. But very simple. But that's it for now, guys. Just wanted to try out the microphone and sort of show off what I've done so far. Lots and lots of painting to do this week and next week. So hopefully, yeah, there'll be something a bit more interesting. Oh, and just for a bit of a laugh, just to show off the real difference in size here, if I get this guy out of the way for a second. This I discovered the other day in one of my boxes. This is a little 15mm elephant. Now this is an Old Glory model, and this was from my second army I think I ever painted for Field of Glory. This was back when I was quite young into ancient wargaming, at least as far as in any serious way. Look at the size difference between a 15mm elephant and a 28mm elephant. It's like he's leading his, he's being led by his mum off into the nearest water hole or into battle or something. And there you go, you can actually see on here, that's kind of how I used to do my Numidian skin as well. So as you can see, definitely went for a very different tone. I don't think it's a bad look, I just don't think it's actually very historical now based on what I've read, but no one's 100% certain, I guess. Now you can see I did a very different sort of basing style back then as well. I kind of like the fact that I did the grit in there. I may end up putting that back on these bases, the big bases as well, and definitely I think I'll use some of the little white rocks when I get around to actually getting some more. But I thought I'd just chuck that in there for a bit of a laugh, just to, you know, see why or how things were. 15mm is really cool. You can get some really, really big armies, but you know, you can't beat 28mm for just how cool they look on the table. You may not get as many figures on the table, but a big army of 28mm still looks really impressive, and Hail Caesar is a great game for that, so that's what I'll be doing, and you'll see a lot of my videos will be about Hail Caesar stuff over the coming year, especially stuff I'm working on, but I'm hoping that I may get around to trying to do some how to play videos and things like that, just to for my own use and help me learn the rules, if nothing else, a little bit better, because I haven't actually played too many games. Every time me and Rob get into it, we sort of play a few games and then work gets in the way, and then we can't play for a while, and then we start again and we forget the rules. So I'm going to really try and make a concerted effort this year to play lots and lots of Hail Caesar so I can get the rules sussed. But anyway, guys, that's enough. You've heard enough from me for now. I'm going to get back to painting. You guys have a good one, and love to see some of the stuff that you guys are doing. Feel free to message me with what you're working on. I'd love to see anything you're doing, and if you ever have anything that you want some tips on painting or anything like that, if you think I might be able to help, just ask away and I'll do my best to answer your questions. Alright? So have a good one, guys. I'll catch you later.